I'm gonna finish. La 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 la. Wait till I get my money right. Tupac told me back in the days, you know, you had to get your money right, and then you go to war. So I'm going to war. Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing. Y'all finally touched the person that's not gonna take it anymore. You can't tell me nothing.
Okay, can I finish?
Interview adjourned. Peace.
Hey guys, what's up? It is your girl Kelly, and I'm back with you guys here once again for another quick little video. This one's going to be a little bit different today, trying to just you know, try around some different content, you know, just mixing it up a little. It's called to do a little mix up. So if you're new here, guys, please hit that subscribe button. I would so greatly appreciate that, and I appreciate all of anybody who's been showing me love on my channel recently. Any new followers, if you're back, if you're returning, we'd love to see it. I thank you so much. And guys, I would definitely encourage you to do the same. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already tried it out. It's something new, you know. Try it. You never know what you're gonna like until you try it, right? And then give this video a like if you like it, and let me know in the comments, as always, what you think about it. So guys, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit different of a video today, because normally I talk about politics and culture somewhat, and I guess this could fall into the realm of culture. So I wanted to get into Casey Anthony today with you guys, and what do you guys know about this case? Like, let me know in the comments. I know that this is like somewhat of an older case, but this was like around the time that I was in like school. Like, I think in right around like, I think middle school, high school age is whenever this was all transpiring, and I was like hooked on this case. Like, I literally, like, this bitch got her claws in me, okay? I was like totally enthralled with what was going on, and the you know, the dealings, and like her lies, her incessant lunatic behavior. It just had the whole country like wrapped in this drama, and I was one of those ones that was definitely enthralled with everything that was going on with this case. And of course it involved, you know, this lady here who, I'll just say, you know, I believe she killed her young daughter, her 3-year-old daughter, and it was just a truly amazing thing to witness at the time, because the lies and the utter just like embarrassing nature of what was going on from this woman who claimed to have had her daughter abducted from her. And then she behaved in a way that was so outrageous. It just kind of like, I don't know, nobody had ever seen anything like this before. So that's why I kind of wanted to cover it, because I like true crime. Like, I'm very interested in that sort of thing anyways. And there are certain cases that just, like, you know, you get interested in. And this was one of them. This was like one of the main ones throughout, you know, my life of enjoying and keeping up with different cases of, you know, criminal behavior and things like that. You know, this was definitely one of the ones that was most just interesting. I don't want to use the word interesting because it's like, have a positive connotation, but it was like, I don't know, just, it was very different. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory, and then I want to talk about this new show that Peacock, which I'm just now finding out that is underneath NBC, like the network NBC. Apparently it's their like paid subscription service. Did not know that until recently. And so they decided to give this woman a platform and to create this whole little show on Peacock, basically giving this woman the chance to utterly slander her father and come up with even more lies than she spewed originally, which it's hard to believe, because this woman was full of lies. She was living in a house full of lies, on a bed full of bullshit, in a land of make-believe, you know, her entire life. So it's just really crazy. So I would definitely, you know, I mean, I just got done watching the whole 3-part series. I did not watch it on Peacock because I did not want to give my money to them for platforming this disgusting piece of garbage. So I just found the free clips on YouTube or whatever. So I would suggest, if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, check it out, But I'm going to show you a little bit here. I can't show you too much from the new series because I don't, y'all know how they've been doing my videos, okay? They've been striking them down, and not like actual strikes, but they've been like, I don't know, they've been doing the most for me. So let's get into the first couple things. I want to show you guys from the initial part of the case. If you're not familiar with this woman and her utter insanity that she was spewing at the time of her daughter supposedly being missing, I want to kind of just refresh and remind you guys, and I'll kind of fill in the blanks as we go along so y'all can understand just exactly what was happening at this time, and we'll go from there, guys. So let's start off with this is the clip from, okay, before I get into that, I guess, let me let you guys know a little bit about what happened if you don't already know, and I'll try to keep this short. So basically, this woman ended up, having her daughter with her, and she was living with her parents' house up until the age of 3. Okay, so at the age of 3, she ended up, something happened with her daughter. Okay, she misplaced her or whatever. So basically, she left home one day. Her daughter was alive and well and with her, and then 30 days passed by, and her parents did not hear from her or did not see her. They were talking to her on the phone, but did not see her or her daughter for 30 days after that last time of seeing her. And so she, after 30 days, was confronted by her mother and ended up coming up with this story and proposing this idea that a woman by the name of Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, who, come to find out, she just invented this woman, and she actually told her mother that this woman had taken her daughter, and it was a nanny apparently that Casey had been using for a year or two. And so one day the nanny just decided to up and leave with her daughter, and she decided not to let anyone know, not to call the police, not to call her mother, not to take any action whatsoever to try to find her daughter. So that's red flag number 1, and then it kind of all spiraled out of control from there. So once she finally admitted it to her mother, what was actually going on, that's when her mother, Cindy, ended up calling the police and reporting the girl as missing. And it was a shit show from there on out. So come to find out, she was, during this time of this 30 days, where supposedly she is giving her mother the impression that her daughter had been missing and she didn't know what happened to her. But all the while, Casey had been partying, living it up, getting tattoos, living with her boyfriend, stealing people's checkbooks, buying groceries with said checkbooks, just living it up, living the high life, just doing her thing, Yas Queen slay type shit. And so, yeah, Casey was living her best damn life until the ride came to an end abruptly after 30 days, and she was promptly investigated by the police from that point on. And so this right here, what I'm fixing to show you, is right up until that point, once the police got involved, it was lie after lie after lie from this woman. So she, again, relayed this story to the police about the nanny taking the kid. She didn't know where her baby was, and all this and that. And quickly, the detectives were able to disprove pretty much everything she said, and prove her to be a complete and utter liar. She lied about where she was working at the time. She lied about this woman even existing. She lied about, took them on a wild goose chase all over the city, guys. So one of the places where she misled the police, instead of actually owning up to whatever it was that actually happened to her daughter, and she still has not to this day ever actually said what really happened. But she took them on a wild goose chase, and one of the places that she took them was her supposed workplace, which she told them she was working at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. And this is the part of the conversation that followed that interaction with the police once they got to Universal Studios. They got out of the car, walked into the building, and walked all the way down a hallway until they got to where they could not walk anymore. And up until that point, and then she finally admitted that she had been lying. And so this is just part of the conversation, just so you can kind of see where, gauge where this woman's at, okay?
The horrible thing that happened, and this is the honest to God's truth of everything that I've said, I do not know where she is. The last person that I saw her with is Zenaida. She's the last person that I've seen my daughter with.
And see, here's the problem, and I think Sergeant Allen's trying to get to this, is that we know that's not the truth. Listen, we know that that's not true. That can't be the truth, because if that were the truth, everything you would have told us would have been on the money. The addresses you would have taken us would have been on the money. Everything else would have matched. If you had told us the truth, we wouldn't be here at Universal Studios at a place that you've been fired since 2006. With you trying to explain to us, you have an office and all that stuff. We wouldn't be here. So we know, and this is the part we need to get past, we already know that you're not telling us the truth, that you know what happened to Kaylee, and you know where Kaylee is. But here's what we're trying to get by, is that you fall into one of two categories, and I'm sure he explained it and I explained it, is that if this is something, an accident that happened, and no matter how you think people are going to look at you, they're going to look at you a lot worse if you continue showing that you're callous or not caring, and that you just show complete dispassion and disregard for human life.
So that was the main thing, guys, with this whole case that kind of captured the attention of the entire country, was how callous this woman was. She just had this aura about her that she did not care whatsoever about finding her daughter. And I mean, really, my opinion is that she knew all along where her daughter was. And if you don't know, I don't want to, spoiler alert or whatever, but in my opinion, what actually happened was, and this all came out in court, and I would suggest, going and looking at, deeper dive videos. This is just going to be, a quick rundown and a review of the show that she came out with on Peacock. But the whole story is interesting, and I would suggest seeking more information if that's what you want to do. But she was just callous, and I think that she knew all along. Do I think she maliciously on purpose killed her daughter? No. I mean, something in my heart says no, but I think she was doing other things, like drugging her daughter, or trying to get her to fall asleep so that she didn't have to watch her. And I think there was just shady shit going on, and all of those things were kind of hinted at during the court proceedings. So, but the main thing was just her attitude and how she acted. So it did not give off the vibe of someone who was concerned about where their daughter was, and somebody who was, not knowing where their daughter was. So this was another part of that interview, and let's just play a little bit of that.
With Amy and JP, all of whom are at our station talking to our detectives right now. So obviously, we're not stupid, okay? And what you're doing right now is you're treating us like we're stupid, in which I take that, to be a personal insult. I can't speak for them. Here's where it comes down to. None of us are sitting here believing what you're saying, because everything that's coming out of your mouth is a lie. Everything. And unless we start getting the truth, we're going down two possibilities with Kaylee. Either you gave Kaylee to someone and you don't want anyone to find out because you think you're a bad mom, or something happened to Kaylee and Kaylee's buried somewhere or in a trash can somewhere, and you had something to do with it. Either way right now is not a very pretty picture to be painting. Either way right now, with everything that you're telling us, you're painting yourself as a very bad person. Your family's going to suffer for this. Your friends are going to suffer for this. And remember what I told you about all these people coming out there to crucify you for this, because of all the lies that you've been telling us. We need to stop that right now. Everything you've told us is a lie. You're looking me in the eyes. You're looking at everything you told us is a lie. Every single thing. And you can't keep sitting here and telling us the same thing.
She is still knowing that, and it's truly amazing, guys. If you're not familiar at all with this case, I cannot stress to you how much this woman lied about. Every detail she lied, she embellished. It's just truly amazing, and her whole entire demeanor throughout all of this, while this was all going on, was totally cold and uncaring. I mean, it was just truly amazing to see. So even now, when they've got her at Universal Studios, totally caught red-handed in a lie, she's still denying and still in denial about her role in all of this, and not willing to admit any fault or any any blame at all in the fact that her daughter is missing in action, and she doesn't think that she should be responsible, and she doesn't think that she thinks it's okay to not know as someone's mother where her child is.
And getting constantly over and over and over again, we're disproving everything that you're telling us. You're telling us that you've lied to us. You're telling us you're giving us misinformation. Everything you're telling us. Okay? It needs to end.
The truthful thing is that I have not seen my daughter. The last time that I saw her was on the 9th of June.
And what happened to Kaylee?
That's a lie too.
I don't know.
Sure you do.
I don't know.
Something happened to Kaylee. We're not going to discuss whether the last time you saw her. I'm guessing something bad happened to her some time ago and you haven't seen her. So that part is true if you say you haven't seen her, because she's somewhere else right now.
She's either
she's either in a dumpster right now. She's buried somewhere. She's out there somewhere, and her rotten body is starting to decompose because of what you're telling us. And here's the problem. The longer this goes, the worse it's going to be for everyone. Everyone. The worse it's going to be for everyone. Right now, everything you've told us, we've locked you into a lie. Every single thing that you've told us has been a lie. We're proving all that. Now, right now, it's going to be one of two things. Either we find Kaylee a lie, which is going to help you out extremely by telling us the truth, or we find Kaylee not a lie, which, if you start telling us the truth, might still paint you in a better picture. But here's where it needs to end. Here's where the truth needs to come out, okay? No more lies, no more bull coming out of your mouth. We've been very respectful. We're taking our time and talking to you. But we're tired of the lies. No more lies. What happened to Kaylee?
I don't know.
You do know. What happened to Kaylee?
I don't know where
Y'all, it's insane. It really is. And so this continues for a long time. Okay, so then finally, once they realized that they're not going to get anything out of this woman, they ended up arresting her and charging her with lying to the police and like child neglect. So I just want to play a couple more things before I go on to my review of the new series, because it's truly incredible, because you have to really know the backstory and realize that, like, just how much this woman and it's like past lying almost. It's like almost like she was deceitful. She was like purposefully deceitful and just evil in the disappearance of her child. So this was a phone call that she made right after she was arrested, okay, to her mother, or to her family's house. And I want to play this because it truly gives you an idea. If you compare and contrast the tone of voice and the like the emotional state, or like just the way in which her mother and her friend are reacting to this conversation, and the way that Casey is reacting to the conversation. So just pay attention to like the different tones and what it is exactly that they're expressing concern over in this call, just so we can understand who this one is.
Casey. An inmate from the Orange County Corrections Center. For a rate quote, press 7. To accept this free call, press 0. To obtain a customer service, this call is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Casey?
Mom.
Hey, sweetie.
Well, I just saw your nice little cameo on TV.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Which one? I did 4 different ones, and I don't know. I haven't seen them all. I've only seen 1 or 2 so far.
You don't know what my involvement is and stuff?
Casey?
Mom.
What?
No.
I don't know what your involvement is, sweetheart. You're not telling me where she's at.
Because I don't know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
Casey, don't waste your call.
No.
Scream and holler at me.
Waste my call sitting in, the jail?
Whose fault
where
is...
monks are?
Whose fault is you're sitting in the jail? You're blaming me that you're sitting in the jail?
Not
Blame
my
yourself
fault.
for telling lies. You mean it's not your fault? What do you mean it's not your fault, sweetheart? If you'd have told them the truth and not lied about everything, they wouldn't...
Do me a favor, just tell me what Tony's number is. I don't want to talk to you right now. Forget it.
I don't have his number.
We'll get it from Lee, because I know Lee's at the house.
And Tony is her boyfriend, by the way. At the time, she was seeing some guy that she had just been seeing for a few months. And so she's calling from jail to her family's home after being confronted by her mom, and after admitting that her daughter has been gone for 30 days, making up this whole bullshit, crazy story of what actually happened to her daughter, instead of coming clean with the truth and saying what it is that actually happened, she makes up this whole entire thing, goes on this wild goose chase with the police, and gets arrested, and then calls her family home and talks to her mother. And if you notice, like I said, notice the two different tones of voices. And what is she worried about while her mom's focused on, where's your daughter? Please tell me, help me to help you. Where's your daughter? She's worried about her boyfriend and where, how she can get his number. So.
I saw Mallory's car was out front.
Hello.
Hi, I'm glad everybody's at my house. I'll have to call you later.
This is her friend that she's talking to now.
Get your number. Do me a favor, get my brother back because I need Tony's number.
Okay, is there anything I can do for you?
I'm sitting in jail. There's nothing anybody can do right now.
Well, I'm just trying to be...
Oh, I know you are, honey. I absolutely know that you are, and I appreciate everything that you're trying to do, but I'd like to call Tony. He's not at my house, is he?
No,
okay.
No, it's just me and your parents and Lee.
Okay, well, can you do me a favor and get my brother back or get the number from him, please?
Does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No. Nothing.
Okay, so why do you want to talk to Tony? You probably don't want to tell me, do you?
Huh?
You probably don't want to tell me, do you?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No, Tony had nothing to do with Kaylee.
Oh, so why do you want to talk to him? You probably don't want to tell me.
He's my boyfriend, and I want to actually try to sit and talk to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier because I got arrested on a whim today.
She wants to talk to her boyfriend and not find her child.
But
she knows where her child is.
That I didn't do.
Okay. Well, I'm on your side. You know that, right?
Honey, I know that. I just want to talk to Tony and get a little bit of...
Casey, you have to tell me if you know anything about Kaylee.
Sweetheart,
if anything happens with Kaylee, Casey, I'll die. You understand? I'll die. If anything happens to that baby.
Oh my God. Calling you guys? Waste. Huge waste.
Okay, so that right there, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments. That conversation, it did it for me. It really solidified in my mind just what kind of person this is. And so it just goes to show you, you can see, her friend is more concerned about her baby than she is. All she's concerned about is calling this stupid guy. And she has no care in the world for her daughter. And now, she's doing this whole entire series with Peacock. Basically, she came up with this story about this nanny took her child and she didn't know what happened. She dropped her off at the nanny's house and then they just disappeared. She had no idea what happened to her after that. So now she's in this series with Peacock, and she comes up with this other elaborate story. And throughout the trial, other stories came out. So her defense attorney ended up actually accusing her father of molesting her during the trial. They had no proof of that. So it was just, that was disgusting in and of itself, because I felt like that was just her excuse to get out of any accountability for what she'd done. So she decides on this Peacock series to expand on that. And that's exactly what she does. It's exactly what she does. And so that's pretty much what this whole thing is basically a 3-part series, 1 hour each. Each segment was 1 hour, so 3 hours of her bullshitting her way through a tall tale to try to get some sort of victimhood and make herself out to be the victim in this whole thing. And it's just really disgusting what she did. So, I mean, if you're into this sort of thing, I would definitely suggest you watch what it is that she put out into the world. It's truly disgusting. Have you ever felt like you're being gaslit by a television program? Because that's basically what it is. If you want to sit there and be gaslit and be made to feel like you are stupid and you're just being lied to straight to your face, but it's a TV program, definitely check out her series on Peacock. So I wanted to get into some of the clips from that show. Okay, so this is this is from Peacock, so I'm just going to show it in little parts so I don't get my video taken down. But this was, they're at Universal Studios sitting outside, and she's retelling a different version of events than she had previously told when this actually all happened. And so let's hear a little bit of what she had to say in regards to her story, which she's now claiming that her dad not only molested her, but molested her daughter. And one day, you know, the day that she was last seen alive, her daughter ended up, you know, disappearing from her room, like they were taking a nap, and she woke up and her daughter wasn't there anymore. And so she claims that her father was molesting her or something that day, and once she woke up and realized that her daughter wasn't there anymore, then, you know, this whole dramatic thing happened where, you know, he was holding her daughter and she was soaking wet, and it seemed like there was this accident that happened, but she couldn't be bothered to actually find out what exactly it was that did happen. You know, she just kind of like, she was so traumatized and so abused by her, you know, her being molested herself by her father, and she had so much trauma that she was just like bamboozled by this whole event. And so she ended up allowing her father to tell her that just go ahead and leave. Go ahead and leave. I'll take care of your daughter, who is unconscious, in my arms, and, you know, you just go and live your life. So this is her explanation, or part of it, as to what she was thinking, bringing those police officers that day to Universal Studios, and why she was in the frame of mind that she was in, where there was videos of her partying, pictures of her partying throughout the 31 days, and why she did not come across as a grieving mother. So let's get into this.
So at the time of pulling up here with the cops, you believe what about where Kaylee is?
She's okay. That's what I believed the entire time, not just with the cops, every day that I've sat in jail up until the day she was found. Every day.
Help us understand, why were you lying to the cops?
I lied to everyone because that was my whole life up to that point. Acting like everything's okay, but knowing nothing was okay. I've had years of therapy, and...
Well, you need years more of therapy, ma'am, because it still doesn't make sense, okay? It's still, if that's what had happened, then why not say that? Why not say that? Why make up a whole entire person and a story to go along with it? And, you know, knowing at that point, because her mom had confronted her, knowing that your dad doesn't have your daughter, he hasn't just been keeping her safe from you while you can go live your life, you know, you had to have known at that point that something bad had happened to her. Even if the story, even if I were to entertain this story as being real, at this point, you're being interviewed by the police. You know something is the matter. Why would you not at that point ring the alarm? And no, instead you make up a whole lie about a woman, make up a whole woman, and an abduction story. Why not just say what happened with your dad? It's bizarre. You know, at that point, she's been gone and separated from her family for 30 days. So it's really mind-blowing, the level of deception and just audacity from this woman.
I'm trying to analyze my own behavior and explain my own behaviors. All of this is a reaction to trauma.
Yeah, okay. Girl. Go to hell.
Since 2008, I was suppressing those memories.
So, yeah, I don't care about you suppressing your memories, man. You need to suppress yourself. It's beyond me why she felt the need to come back onto the scene after all of this time, guys, you know, and tell this tall tale, you know. She's full of them. She should be an author, honestly, an author of fiction. I would suggest it. That way, we don't have to look at your bitch ass. So, this is one more clip I wanted to show you guys from this series, and I just want to show you this, and then I'm going to show you something else, because she did another interview, I guess it was about like 5 or 6 years ago, and let's notice the difference. It might be bipolar. We might be diagnosing her as bipolar right here on this video, right now. But just check this out, like, real quick, because this struck me whenever I was watching this 3-part series. Immediately, it made me think of her last interview that she did about 6 years ago, because she's just talking out of every side of her neck that she has. So let's watch this.
How'd you sleep?
There's no such thing as good sleep. Not that I know. A lot of nights I have very clear images and flashbacks. Nightmares.
Okay, so y'all heard that, right? She said there's no such thing as good sleep. Not that she knows of. There's no such thing as good sleep. Okay, so then let's see what she had to say 6 years ago.
I would like to think she'd be listening to classic rock and playing sports and not taking from anybody.
Girl, fuck off.
Lying to the cops.
Right.
People lie to the cops every day. Cops lie to people every day. I'm just one of the unfortunate idiots who admitted that they lie. I'm still not even certain as a statement about me. I don't give a about what anybody thinks about me. I don't care about that. I never will. I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night.
Oh, wait. So, which one is it? Do you sleep pretty good at night? You're okay with yourself, right? 6 years ago, you were okay with yourself and you were sleeping pretty good at night. But, you know, when Peacock wants to come and, you know, inquire about what's going on now, well, now you don't, now your tune has changed. Say it isn't so, Casey. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so that you're changing your story like you always do, girl. So this is the last thing I want to show you guys. This was episode 2 of the show on Peacock, and this was one of the detectives that was working on her case at the time, and I just thought this was a little Keck moment, you know, a little lightheartedness to bring us on out of the video. And then I want to know what you guys think, so let's listen to this.
What are you looking at there?
I guess to some this would be a photograph of a grieving mother trying to find her missing daughter.
Wow. He laughed at his own joke. Oh my. Okay.
Tell me about your behavior leaving the house and then 31 days. The media and the public have used this again and again as a hammer to hammer you with.
Yeah.
Speak, bitch.
This is the building where Tony Lazaro, Clint House, and his other...
Okay, we don't care. So then she goes and shows them where she was staying during 31 days, but I just like that part with the detective, you know, because he was referencing all of the photos that she had taken of her during this time, which showed her to be not so much a grieving mother who had lost her child or who was enveloped in all of this trauma with her father, you know, having taken her daughter from her and not seeing her daughter for 30 days. Was she sad? Was she distraught? No, she was living la vida loca. So, yeah, guys, it's pretty insane. Just this whole story, and I don't know what it is she's trying to do with this series, like this 3-part series. I don't know what it is Peacock is trying to do. I'm really not surprised, though, at all from what we've seen from, like, the likes of, like, Balenciaga and things like that. It seems like, to me, the media has no problem with platforming disgusting people like this, and, you know, brands like Balenciaga, people like Jeffrey Epstein, you know, pedophiles, disgusting people, like, you know, all the time. But yet it's weird because when Nick Fuentes, who just says things, just makes jokes, makes very ironic and sometimes distasteful jokes, you know, people like that, or people like Ye, who are successful, is a successful billionaire who just has a wrong opinion, those people are not allowed. I'm sorry, guys. Those people aren't allowed to exist in the media or in the public sphere. Why is that? Why is that? What kind of sick, demented culture do we have where we can have this woman here who we've seen the evolution of her lies? Very briefly, I went over it in this video. The evolution of her just insanity and her utter deception that she perpetuated in regards to her own daughter's disappearance and untimely death. And this is who we platform? Yikes. So we're in big trouble, guys. We are in big trouble. And let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it, because it's getting real out here, guys. It's getting real when this is the type of shit that we're doing, okay? We're giving this woman a voice to speak and a platform to stand on, to spew her lies, but you will call somebody like Ye or Nick Fuentes racist bigots, anti-Semites, this, that, and the other, and insist that they be wiped off the face of the planet. So, yikes. That doesn't really sit well in my soul. So, let me know what y'all think, guys. Please hit the subscribe on the way out if you have not already done it, so we can, you know, we can talk about more shit. There's more shit talking to do. So, let me know, guys, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye.
I'm gonna finish. La 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 la, wait till I get my money right. Tupac told me back in the days, you know, you had to get your money right and then you go to war. So I'm going to war. Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing. Y'all finally touched the person that's not gonna take it anymore. You can't tell me nothing.
Okay, can I finish?
Interview adjourned. Peace.